You look back when they drafted Rex Grossman or Cade McNown. Did they surround them with the most talent? They did not. Then they went and got Jay Cutler. Okay, you paid a price for him. Are we going to upgrade the O-line? Not really. Are we going to get him a number one receiver other than Devin Hester? No, not really. And then we're going to move on from him, and we're going to go get, and I know they got Brandon Marshall later. I'm talking about when they got him. Then they go get Mitch Trubisky. Do they surround him and they put him in the best situation? No, we're going to not let him play as a rookie. Oh, 4 games in, we stink. Game 5, you're in. Justin Fields, was he put in the best situation? Absolutely not. Now we've got a new boss. His name is Ryan Poles. He ain't like the old boss. And guess what? He has put Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and a bunch of upgrades on the O-line, and I still think he needs to do more there. A new offensive coaching staff, and he's going to get him Caleb Williams. Let's go.
You and I are not in a position to guarantee anything when it comes to the Chicago Bears. We can't guarantee anything. But the one thing that we can say, because of our long fandom of this team, is that here's something we've never seen before, this era of Chicago Bears football. This is something we've never seen before. And you say, well, Hood, same old Bears, right? No, it's different. And the reason why it's different, again, not guaranteeing anything, is that you haven't had a general manager go to a McCaskey, George, any of the McCaskies and say, yeah, I like your team, but I have a different idea on how to be able to reimagine the franchise. Because usually a general manager or a player personnel person would just lie to Ted Phillips and lie to the Chicago Bears and say, as a head coach, we can turn this around. Yeah, you've underachieved. You're a non-playoff team. But, if we just get a player here, player there, and just give a good rah-rah speech, we can turn this thing around. Well, we know that that's not true because I can see the one-loss records in front of me here on this computer. This is different because Ryan Poles says you have veterans here and you still not winning. High-priced veterans, you're still not winning. How about we take them off the books and start over? I don't know how Poles approached it. I don't know what he told George McCaskey. But what we're seeing here, Cap, is something completely different than what we've seen before. Because usually it's done with Scotch tape and spackle and just put a player here, player there, quarterback here. Bad in the draft, bad in free agency, misses in free agency. The reason why this is different is because you're starting anew. And you started knowing that you're going to level the franchise with Justin Fields. Every bit of this, the last couple of years, has been an evaluation. All of it, not just Justin Fields, the whole thing. Because if you're a general manager, you got to find out who can play for me for the future and who can't. That's the evaluation. 3 wins, 7 wins, and next should be the postseason.
Yeah, you asked, you don't know what he told George. I have an idea because I had a chance to talk to Bill Polian one day a while ago, and he said that he sat down with George with the roster, and he said, you got to have minimum 8 blue-chip players, minimum, closer to 12 to think you're a contender. He said, you got like Roquan Smith, and Khalil is a blue-chip player, but that's about it. He said, you got to reimagine this thing, as you said, from the ground up. Well, who do they have now that is a blue-chip player? Their quarterback's going to be a blue-chipper.
Corner?
Their corner, Jalen Johnson, without a doubt, is a blue-chipper. Jaquan Brisker looks like he's going to be a blue-chip safety. DJ Moore is a blue-chip wide receiver. Keenan Allen is a blue-chip wide receiver. And there's a bunch more dudes there. Montez Sweat, blue chipper. And you could make a case that Kyler Gordon is a blue chip cornerback. They have got a bunch of dudes coming, man. And it's going to get better with the 9th pick. All of a sudden, you're going to be like, whoa, got like 10 of these guys here. What he's been able to accomplish in 2 seasons is literally remarkable.
It's a hard sell for some owners because they don't want to hear that.
You're going to tear everything we've done down? Yes.
But that's hard, though. I love to be a fly on the wall for those conversations on the phone, Zoom, dinner, whatever. Because, Cap, you go in there and you see the roster and you go, you've just kind of been middling a little bit after Nagy. You haven't really done much. Do you have the balls to tell them, like, yeah, you have a great franchise, charter franchise, but your team is not very good. You need to get rid of these players. I mean, you're in an interview situation. I can understand if it's Jimmy Johnson in his heyday, or like some of the great general managers in their day, or great coaches that could say, you know what, we're going to tear this whole thing down. You know why? Because you and I have seen this before, like a Jimmy Johnson,
Right,
or a Mike Ditka.
Correct.
We've seen this where it's like they come in and say, yeah, you got some players here, some people to work with, but we got to start this thing over. If you want to hire me, I can't win with these players. And then a general manager would bend over backwards like, well, you're the football guy, go ahead. But there's some owners
that would never do
they're
it.
like, what do you mean? What you can't play with our wide receiver? You can't play with Robinson? You mean to tell me we can't use him as a wide receiver, as a go-to guy? No, you can't. Khalil Mack, we moved heaven and earth to get Khalil Mack. No.
Robert Quinn? No.
Roquan Smith, he's going to be our next
Not
Singletary. No. That's a hard sell.
That's a hard sell.
But again, we're not guaranteeing anything. We're just saying that this is where the Bears are now.
Oh, and by the way, I'm probably moving on from Justin Fields to what?
Yeah. What do you think that was like? If he talked to George about it at all.
Right.
Because George, if nothing else, here's the difference between him and Jerry Reinsdorf as of late. Here's a guy here that's hands off. I know people won't believe that because they've seen the Bears for a long time and they think that the McCaskey stick their beak and stuff.
George does not meddle.
Oh, well, I mean, but you can't change City Hall.
Correct.
But you and I both know that. But many believe that McCaskey's got his fingerprints on all of this.
He's done and it's just not a guess, it's a fact, a terrible job in who he hired.
Mm-hmm.
He let Ted have far too much authority, not a football guy. He had Bruce Arians in the building. Now we'll take Mark Trestman. They hired Phil Emery because he didn't like the last time he brought a GM in who told him what he thought he should do. Chris Ballard, he's been okay down in Indy. Chris Ballard, that was the guy they wanted to hire. Yeah, I'm releasing Jay Cutler tomorrow. Get him out of here. We can't do that. Well, that's what I'm doing. Okay, you're out. Finally,
Right. Yeah.
Ryan Poles rolls in with recommendations from every top guy. That guy's awesome. And I'm releasing this guy. I'm trading that guy. We're not even calling Akeem Hicks. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's batting. Nobody bats 1,000, but he's batting close.
How could you get rid of Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney and these guys and Jimmy Graham? Just like these veteran players. How could you do it? Because you're trying to get better. First of all, younger, but then have experience for a young quarterback. I would love to know what that relationship was like. That whole conversation of Ryan Poles saying, hey, I know Justin Fields is the linchpin around here, probably selling the most merch, I would say, for the Chicago Bears, who didn't have a number 1 jersey. I would say, it's him. There's 2 or 3 guys, but Fields by far has to be the number 1 guy with selling merch. Yep, we're trading him. You're doing what?
Yeah, we're getting a 6th-round pick.
He's the reason why people are here. Nope. People love him. Nope. That's got to be hard. And this is going to be his legacy, one way or the other. There is no in between, Cap. There's no half pregnancy. It's either going to be great or it's going to fail miserably. There is no middle. And in this NFC, there's an opportunity for the Bears to be able to take another step. If it's not the team, it's definitely the conference in which you feel a couple of teams could take a couple of steps back. Boom, the Bears are right there. There is value to getting into the playoffs. I've always said that. I don't care if it's any of our teams because we don't see it very often. So anytime our teams are in the playoffs, I'll take it. We talk about this with the Bulls all the time. It's like, what does it mean for hey, man, just get to the postseason.